Donald Trump's week from hell just got even worse for him, if you can even believe it. Trump just got hit with yet another major Epstein bombshell, further tying him to his former best friend of at least a decade. Now, I want to get into this new reporting with you, but before I do so, I think it's important to remember as we work our way through this story just how angry MAGA is at Donald Trump. They are furious. Many MAGA fans are abandoning him altogether, like this guy. We're seeing so many videos similar to this one. This MAGA fan who has supported Donald Trump for years threw away in the trash all of his MAGA merchandise because of this story. So we're going to take a look at this video and then dive into the new reporting. But I think this stuff is important to say.
This is all going in the trash. I do not support Trump anymore. He's a liar. He's a part of the deep state. I do not support Israel. I will not be supporting him anymore. He's part of the deep state. He's committing genocide as we speak in Israel. And we all need to start waking up.
This is a diehard MAGA fan now accusing Donald Trump of being part of the deep state because he won't release these documents and throwing away all of his MAGA merchandise. And as I mentioned, we are seeing so many videos like this. It is overwhelming how many Trump supporters are saying that they are done with him. And that brings us to this brand new reporting from the Daily Beast. A biographer for Donald Trump has announced on a podcast with the Daily Beast that Trump considered pardoning Ghislaine Maxwell, who is obviously Jeffrey Epstein's sidekick. She helped him commit all of the horrible acts that he committed. Let's break down this story really quickly. Donald Trump weighed pardoning Ghislaine Maxwell for fear that she would spill the secrets about his decade-long friendship with Epstein after Maxwell was arrested by the FBI in July of 2020 for helping Epstein, which she's now been convicted of. Trump grew very wary, according to this biographer, and began asking, what could she say? What would she say? Trump and Epstein have, of course, been friends since the 1980s. Wolf described them as two guys joined at the hip for a good 15 years. And we have so many different photos of Trump and Epstein together. They did everything together, the Trump biographer told host Joanna Coles. And this is from sharing, pursuing women, hunting women, sharing at least one girlfriend for at least a year, and this kind of rich guy relationship with each other's planes. He added, I dare to say that they kind of loved each other. These were brothers in arms for a long time. Their friendship reportedly unraveled in 2004 during a bidding war for a Palm Beach waterfront mansion. So this biographer is revealing these stunning new details about their relationship, that Trump was so concerned that Ghislaine Maxwell might reveal things about him and Epstein that he even thought about pardoning her to kind of get her off his back. And maybe that's why we heard Donald Trump speak well about her after she was arrested in 2020. He wished her well. He got up at the podium at the White House after she was arrested, asked by a reporter, what's your response to this? He said he wished her well. Take a look at that clip.
Ghislaine Maxwell is in prison, and a lot of people want to know if she's going to turn in powerful people. And I know you've talked in the past about Prince Andrew, and you've criticized Bill Clinton's behavior. I'm wondering, do you feel that she's going to turn in powerful men? How do you see that working out?
I don't know. I haven't really been following it too much. I just wish her well, frankly. I've met her numerous times over the years, especially since I lived in Palm Beach, and I guess they lived in Palm Beach. But I wish her well, whatever it is. I don't know the situation with Prince Andrew. Just don't know. Not aware of it.
Wow. I mean, you know, when somebody is being accused of the heinous crimes, and of course now convicted, that she was being accused of at the time, I don't think you wish that person well, especially as the president of the United States, especially as someone with connections to that person. I don't think you get up on the stand and say, hey, I wish her well. I think the appropriate response would be, yeah, I hope she gets punished by the fullest extent of the law. I hope she gets due process and is convicted inevitably if the evidence proves that there's guilt at the time, right? I think that's the appropriate response from the president of the United States. But he took a different approach saying, I wish her well. After everything had already come out, after all these explosive allegations against her were already made public. Trump's inner circle pushed back on the idea of a pardon, however, warning him that it would blow up in his face. Quote, everybody around him was kind of like, God, we hope she won't say anything, but we really hope he doesn't pardon her, said Wolf, who has published 4 tell-all books on Donald Trump. Trump in his first term obviously didn't go through with that pardon, but when asked about Maxwell's looming trial, as we just saw, he said, "I wished her well." Reached for comment, Trump's communication director, Stephen Chung, said Michael Wolff, the biographer, is a lying sack of blank and has proven to be a fraud. He routinely fabricates stories originating from his sick and warped imagination, only possible because he has a severe and debilitating case of Trump derangement syndrome that has rotted his peanut-sized brain. Again, that is a response from somebody that doesn't seem like they're innocent, right? It doesn't seem like Stephen Chung saying, like, what are you talking about? These are just baseless allegations. He's going to personal attacks. He's like freaking out. We saw Donald Trump, when asked about Epstein the other day, snap at a reporter for even asking the question. Like, if you're an innocent person and you know that all these stories are false, you don't respond like this. You don't behave like this. Now, here's the thing. There's a lot of fishiness going around. Like with statements like this, with Trump's response, we're just kind of like, what's going on here? I think more questions have come from Trump and his response to this whole Epstein thing than have been answered and solved. But it's especially weird because people close to Epstein have directly implicated Donald Trump. Like on Piers Morgan the other day, Epstein's brother was on the line and accused Donald Trump of being involved in a broader conspiracy. Now, before I play this clip, I do want to mention that, like, I don't really believe anything he's saying. He's claiming that Trump was involved in the death of Epstein, that he played a role somehow. But he is under the impression, the strong impression, that Donald Trump was more involved than he's letting on. So take a look at what Epstein's brother had to say on the show.
You got Bundy, you got Patel, you got Barr. All of these people work for Trump, okay? So if they're covering up for somebody, who do you think they might be covering up for?
So you think they're covering up for President Trump?
People look at all of us. Everybody is looking at little pieces of this and coming up with kind of theories, but people really take the time, because there's a lot of facts, there's a lot of information. People who take the time and really investigate this thoroughly all come to the pretty much conclusion that maybe Trump was behind this.
Wow. Well,
Maybe Jeff was killed to quiet him.
you think President Trump has something to do with Epstein, with your brother being killed?
I wouldn't write that off.
Oh.
Because if you look at all of the evidence we have and all of the facts, not opinions, and all of the facts, that wouldn't be something I would dismiss.
I mean, that's an extraordinary thing to say, but there is zero evidence that Donald Trump had anything to do with your brother's death.
Well, somebody did.
Wow. I mean, yeah, I agree with Piers Morgan there, which is pretty rare. He's, big Trump fan, conservative guy. I don't think there's any evidence for that. But the fact that Epstein's own brother is kind of saying, like, yeah, I think that Donald Trump was involved in some of this is pretty explosive. As he mentioned, it's a pretty explosive thing to say on air. So these new allegations from this biographer who's covered Donald Trump for many, many years are damaging for Donald Trump. It makes his week even worse. And I think that as this begins to spiral, not only will we see more and more MAGA fans turn on Donald Trump, but I think we're going to see more demands for answers from the Trump administration. This story is not going away. I'm not going to let it go away. I know you won't either. And they're going to have to answer someday, at least at some point, for why Donald Trump promised to release all these documents on the campaign trail, but once he's in power, it's no can do. So anyway, I will leave the video there. I just had to show you these new reports on Donald Trump. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel down below. Drop a like on the video, comment. Let me know what you think about this story. And as I always say, I greatly appreciate you, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day.